From the USA, he's the BCA 2000 champion. From New York, Ginky, Sansouci.
George Sansouci Jr. My nickname is Ginky, and how I got it was the first word I ever said. My parents named me George, and every time they say George, George, I wouldn't respond, so I said Ginky, and every time they said Ginky, Ginky, I like laugh and giggle, and it stuck with me ever since.
It's been a long day without you, my friend, and I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. We've come along. And all I kept hearing was Tony Robles, Tony Robles, Tony Robles. And I finally got to meet him. Perfect gentleman, champion, great player, great person. And he was my idol. I mean, I attribute a lot of my game to him because I kind of molded, like, if you ever seen Tony play, you'll see he's a perfect gentleman at the table. He never gets upset. He misses, he sits down, he don't complain, don't argue, except one time with me. If you ever see this, Tone. But, you know, so, you know, I tried to follow, you know, the way Tony acted at the table. So then I finally got to meet him and, you know, became friends and been friends ever since. Long way from where we began. Oh, I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. When I see you again.
You know, like you can't see a point of my game that would look like anybody else's. You know, but what I did do was I'd take a little bit, you know, from each player, like, you know, Strickland shot making, or Nick Varner's thinking, or Buddy Hall's position, or Mike Siegel's safes. You know, that's what I would do. I'd take a little bit from each of them and make it my game, but not look like anybody else.
New York City, USA, runner-up in the 2000 BCA Open. Please welcome Ginky, Sansouci.
All the planes we flew, good things we've been through. That I'll be standing right here talking to you about another path. I know we love to hit the road and laugh, but something told me that it wouldn't last. Had to switch up, look at things different, see the bigger picture. Those were the days, hard work forever pays. Now
playing somebody that really can't play and I just drill them. You know, like, people are like, that's cruel. You know, but sometimes you have to be cruel to be kind, they say, you know.
Better place, see you in a better place. How can we not talk about family when family's all that we got? Everything I would do, you were standing there by my side. And now you gonna be with me for the
operating disc in his neck, and he had to go in for an operation where they took that disc out and replaced it with bone from a cadaver. And good story there. As he was going under, they told him they were going to put cadaver bone in him, and he said, well, can you dig up Moscone?
Without you, my friend, and I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. We've come a long way, from where we began.
You know, we started.
Oh, I'll tell you all about it when I see you.
Say you have a customer and you're gambling and you're playing 9-ball and you beat him, and he says, well, you know, I don't want to play no more 9-ball, I'll play you some straight pool. But you don't play straight pool, so you're going to say no, and that customer's going to go find a player to play straight pool with. So you got to learn how to play straight pool. Then you learn how to play one pocket. So you beat straight pool. He says, I don't want to play no more straight pool. I'll play you one pocket. No, I don't play one pocket. He's going to go find a customer to play one pocket with. So you got to keep that customer. And that's why you got to play all the disciplines. It's a game where you kind of play against the table, not really against the opponent. So when you lose, you kind of lose. It doesn't matter who you lose to.
Sansouci, one of the snappiest dressers, it has to be said, at these championships. We've seen him in a few different suits. He's got the James Bond look today. Here's the MC, John McDonald.
George has a shot on the 1. And the 9 ball is sitting over here by this corner. Reyes. Just now look at that break. Look at that cue stick bend and the determination in George's eyes.
Boy, it really bends. I've seen Siegel crack his before. He used to bend it just like this. It's a powerful break.
Got the 9 moving there, tracking to.
First you both go out your way and the vibe is feeling stronger. What's small turn to a friendship turn to a bond, and that bond will never be broken. The love will never get lost.
That I can say about pool is that it brought me around the country, abroad, you know, places that, you know, just being on an airplane, you know, or being out of the state, you know, like places that I would have never ever been able to see or go, or people, you know, like yourself that's videotaped. And I would have never met you had I not found pool, you know, or you, Mike, or you, Athena. You know, there are a lot of great people in my life that, you know, I would not have met had it not been for pool. So I'm very grateful for pool. Very grateful.
And when brotherhood come first, then the line will never be crossed. Established it on our own when that line had to be drawn, and that line is what we reach. So remember when I'm gone. How can we not?